if you are the kind of person who always figures everything out by themselves, who does everything alone, and who never asks for help, that might be a trauma response, because hyper independence is a learned behavior. And I would love to cover in today's video why we end up in this behavior, in this pattern, and how we can start slowly changing that and navigating that. So today's video is gonna be all about how it started, why it started, and how you can start letting yourself move through that pattern. So let's start with the first slide. So we're gonna be talking about the wound, basically how everything started, how we became hyper independent, and how this behavior started in our childhood. So the wound. Now I'm gonna draw two figures, basically. This is our inner child, and this one here. Let's write it here, inner child. And adult self. Basically, when we were just a child, we were asking for help, right? So we were reaching out to this adult with some sort of need, with some sort of request, with some sort of requirement that we were asking for, whether that was love, patience, attention. And yet the adult in our life that was currently present in our life decided to walk away and literally not even listen to us, right? So they are moving forward and there is like this wall in between us. So basically, let's write here. So no one came. We needed something, we needed help, we needed something, but no one came. So the hyper independence that we are utilizing, that we are operating as an adult, started in our childhood, in our inner child, when we were just a child and we needed something from the adults in our life, and they decided to either ignore us, or they didn't have the capacity to even listen to us or to even tend to our needs, right? So they perhaps, most likely, they were dealing with their own situation, with their own inner wounds, with their own unresolved things and traumas, that they didn't even have the capacity to listen to us, to understand that, or even pay attention to us. But obviously, when we are just a child, when we are kids, we don't understand that. We don't have the capacity to understand that they are not capable to listen to us. So what we learned instead is hyper independence. Okay, so I'm gonna write it here. Independence. Okay, so that is moving through us into the adulthood, the hyper independence. That's what we learn here. What does it mean? They didn't pay attention to us. They didn't have time to attend to our needs. They didn't have time or the capabilities or abilities to even understand our needs, our requirements, and our emotional spectrum. So we had to naturally, as a child, we adjusted to the situation, and as the intelligent being, we just wanted to remain safe, and we just wanted to remain in the safety zone. We learned that we have to be independent. We learned that we cannot rely on the adult. We cannot rely on the adults in our life. Basically, we learned that we can only rely on our own self. And also, it is important to understand that there didn't have to be one traumatic event that happened in our life, in our childhood. It could have been continuous neglect. It could have been continuous occurrence when someone, the adult in our life, didn't have the capacity, didn't have the ability to tend to our needs. That's how we learned the hyper independence, because we didn't have anyone to rely on. And the child's nervous system is very, very fast to learn this, okay? So this is the nervous system of us as a child, and we are very fast learning that we cannot rely on anyone else except from us. So that's basically the wound that we are beginning to move everything through and operate from. The wound from our childhood of being neglected, not being understood, not being appreciated, not being loved, not being valued, not being listened to, our needs, desires, and goals, and basically our emotional needs. If they've been neglected, most likely we learned to be dependent only on ourselves and not to look for any kind of help and any kind of assistance from the adults, because we learned that we cannot rely on them. Removing this slide. So let's talk about the lesson that we learned here. Is that we learned that I'll never need anyone again. Okay, so that's basically what we learned. So little by little, we started to build this wall around us. Okay, so this is the wall that we have started building brick by brick. So here comes the wall, and our nervous system and us, we have learned it is not safe to let anyone in. It is not safe to ask for help. It is not safe to need anything, and it is not safe to ask for anyone's help. So we are literally wiring our nervous system, we are wiring our subconscious mind, and we are wiring in the belief that needing someone is dangerous, okay? So needing someone basically was associated with danger in our nervous system, because whenever we asked for help, whenever we needed something, we were met with rejection. So this literally means dangerous, okay? So whenever the subconscious mind, whenever the nervous system perceives something as danger, it's not gonna go forward. So that's why it might be incredibly hard for you, even as an adult, to admit that you need help in the first place, and to even ask for help, because your nervous system, before you even start to do that, before you even start to move towards that direction, is gonna brace yourself, your whole body, your nervous system, as we are always repeating in every video, your nervous system is gonna brace for danger, and therefore is gonna alert you and is gonna stop you from proceeding, okay? This is the explanation mark. Danger, danger, do not proceed. Asking for help meant danger. So you learned little by little, brick by brick, as you were putting these bricks, building these walls, not to let anyone in, that asking for help meant danger. And danger means stay away, of course. So the nervous system and the subconscious mind deeply believes and deeply wired in the belief that asking for help meant danger, and you literally wired in that you will not need anyone again, and you can do everything by yourself, and you don't need anyone to ask for help, and asking for help meant danger and weakness. And you are keeping that wall because having that wall as a child kept you safe, right? So it kept you safe. This wall is keeping you safe, right? This is the wall. It's keeping you safe one way and another. It was. But now as you are an adult, it's not doing that anymore, but we'll get into that a little bit further along. So I'm gonna delete that. That's the lesson that we learned. Needing someone, asking for help literally means danger, and staying and building the wall bricks bit by bit, keeping the walls up, meant being safe. That's the lesson. And now let's talk about how it looked actually from the outside or from the society. So looks like strength. Hyper-independency has the reputation of being the strong one, the super capable one, the one who doesn't need anyone, the one who can handle everything by themselves, and is very much praised in our society. What does that mean? So basically this is us, and we are holding all these boxes, right? All the responsibilities, all the requirements, all the things that are asked from us, and we are holding them. They are so incredibly heavy, and we are holding them all. Obviously, we are not happy because we are suffering. It is too heavy for us to carry on. But since the society rewards this behavior, it rewards being hyper-independent, we keep going. And society actually rewards us. So we are wearing this badge of honor. So we are wearing this badge of honor. This is our medal. So we are wearing this as a badge of honor because the society programs us that we are hyper independent, we can learn everything, do everything, be by ourselves, we don't need anyone, and the society very much rewards this behavior. So it just keeps perpetuating the cycle, but obviously this is so super heavy, right? You can see the bricks, they are so heavy, they are full of responsibilities, they are full of things, they are full of stuff that we have to handle by ourselves. You can see how we are literally suffering because it's so heavy. We cannot keep going like this. This is because when you are hyper independent, you become reliable, you become capable, you become low maintenance. I cannot fit it, but it's low maintenance, okay? So this is what we become by the society standards, and this is very much rewarded, right? So this is the reward for us because we are doing this. Society is clapping, oh, amazing, you can handle everything, you can do everything, you don't need anyone. It's very much celebrated and encouraged. But at the end, we are suffering here. We cannot take all of these responsibilities by ourselves because it's humanly not possible. So what is going to happen to us eventually? We're going to be suffering. Even though from the society spectrum, it looks like we are super strong, super amazing, reliable, low maintenance, capable. We have this medal from the society. So let's write society. Supports this. So society supports this, but at the end of the day, we are not happy, we are suffering because we have too much responsibility. There is a huge difference between strength from safety and strength from survival, okay? So this is survival mode. Survival mode, literally, this is survival mode, which looks like strength. It's survival mode. What we want to do is move towards safety, having strength, but in the terms of safety. I'm gonna go into this, but let's first remove this and let's talk about first what this strength, what the society taught us, what did kind of guide us to do, what does it cost us, okay? So let's remove this. So what's the cost of this behavior? So this is what it costs us when we are building up the wall, when we are handling everything by ourselves, when we are not asking for help, when we are rewarded by the society of being super independent and not needing anyone. What does it actually cost us? We're gonna draw two figures. And then we have another figure on the other side who is also reaching out. But there is a wall between us. As you can remember, that wall that we have built relentlessly, little by little, building it brick by brick. Here it is. Someone is offering help. Someone is trying to reach out to us. Yet we are here. There's this wall between us, and we cannot connect. Even though we want to, we cannot connect together because of this wall, because of these bricks that we have been putting relentlessly from our childhood, from the moment this all began, from the moment that we learned that asking for help, needing help, even accepting help meant danger. So again, danger, danger, walls are coming up. We are not able to get through. Hyper-independence affects our relationships. So whenever you get close to someone, even when you want to be close to them, the wall is going to come up, the wall is going to show up in the moment of vulnerability, and you won't be able to connect to this person. You will start drifting apart, you will start building this wall, you will start raising this wall, you will start revealing this wall is here. This person is trying, incredibly trying perhaps, to meet you where you are, but this wall is standing in between you. So it's deeply affecting your relationship. So you can be at the same time being close and keeping distance at the same time. Subconsciously, you might be attracting even unavailable partners. And why is that? Because you yourself are unavailable. Okay, so unavailable partners. Subconsciously wired. Okay, so you are attracting unavailable partners. Why? Because you yourself, subconsciously, you are unavailable because you have this big brick wall putting in front of everyone. Again, we are coming to the subconscious mind and how it works. It feels familiar. And what does it mean when something feels familiar? That we're gonna naturally get into that, because familiarity means safety, okay? So what is safe to us, we are naturally moving towards. What is unfamiliar to us, we deem as a danger. Want connection, you are desiring connection, but your nervous system is built against. Your nervous system again is built against connection because it's alerting you. It's saying danger, danger, danger. Be careful. Let's keep up this wall. Let's put it up. Let's make it bigger so no one can actually cross through. That's what's costing us. It's costing us our relationships and costing us our intimacy with other people. Usually, the closest people to us have the biggest wall to cross and to face. So let's remove this. Let's reveal the truth. The truth is very simple. So we are holding our head because we are not happy. So we are sitting on all of these bricks that we have been building around us. We have been building all these walls with these bricks. We are quite literally sitting on them. You do not know how to stop, okay? You are exhausted. You are exhausted from all of this. There is more bricks. So you are exhausted, but you don't know how to stop this behavior. You keep gathering these bricks, you keep building these walls, then you get frustrated because you want closeness, you want to be allowing people into your life, but you don't know how to do that. So the truth is, you need to learn how to let people in. You need to learn how to let go of these bricks. You need to learn how to rewire your nervous system, your subconscious mind, so you can let people into your life and you can allow them to stay in your life once they appear, once they enter, once they prove to you that they are worth it. You are exhausted? But still won't ask for help. Why is that? Because your nervous system is wired for the behavior of being hyper independent, of not needing anyone's help, of not asking for help, of not receiving help. Because you learned that needing someone was dangerous. So need equals, let's write it here, danger. Right? So that's literally what your nervous system wired in. Like I was saying in the previous slide, your nervous system, this is the nervous system, it learned that needing someone was super dangerous. So in the moment you even think about that you have that need, your nervous system immediately is going to start alerting you and saying that you are in danger and that you need to remove yourself from that. So you basically do not know how to ask for help, and your system doesn't allow you to ask for help. The nervous system will always act in a way to protect you from danger. So what we essentially are doing, what we are doing in this whole work, is wiring the system for the things that the system deems as dangerous and making them familiar, making them safe, so this doesn't happen automatically, because it's happening automatically, right? The nervous system is doing its job. It's always doing its job. Our job is to understand what it's trying to protect us from. Once we understand that intellectually, it is our job to wire it into our body, so we wire this for safety and we don't have to go against our own nervous system, our own instincts. That's the wound, literally. The truth is, the wound is still driving our behavior, driving our nervous system, and protecting us. It's doing its job. It's doing its amazing job. Our job is to understand that this wound is still being triggered and still being acted upon. We need to make it safe for us to move forward. So I'm gonna remove this as well. The most important part of this video is the turn, how to turn it around, right? So the turn, how to turn this whole situation around. And what we want to do is this is someone reaching out to us with an amazing intentions. And what we want to do is to not turn the other way around and reach out and start allowing for help to reach us without having this wall in between us. What is important here, let it in, right? So this heart, this love, this care, this help that someone is offering for us, we want to let it in without building this wall between us. So this help can reach us. We can get it without having the wall. So I want to just make it clear here that it starts with little steps, step by step, okay? Maybe at the beginning you still have this little wall here. You still have some bricks. There are maybe a few bricks in between, but it's not the whole wall. So it's smaller. So this person can actually reach you and maybe see and try if they are worthy of your trust, if they are worthy of you trusting in them. So you give them a chance, offering help, offering this help to you, and you accept it, so you can see at least bit, by smaller steps, not turning around, not putting the wall all the way up, just giving them a bit of chance and see if they are worthy. And if they prove themselves to be worthy, you can bit by bit start removing this wall and start accepting help overall. Even little steps, staying long enough, not running away, not trying to push them, pull them away, just staying and there, staying rooted here and letting them show you what they want to bring, or if they want to help you, not moving from the moment, staying present and letting the moment play out and letting them help you. Okay, so it's little bit, step by step, one day at a time, one moment at a time, where you do not build the bricks, do not run away, do not pretend that you have everything under the control, do not pretend that you can handle everything by yourself, even if you can, but we're not going to do it anymore. Okay, so we're going to start accepting the help bit by bit. So that's the turn what we're going to do. Start accepting help, even when it's a bit uncomfortable. First time it's gonna be very uncomfortable, but then you will start realizing, oh, actually it's very nice to receive help, and it's even nice for the other person, right? Everyone who have ever offered help and genuinely meant that, and the other person accepted that, they have a really good feeling that they were of service. It goes both ways, right? So let's talk about that as well. It goes both ways. So when you are rejecting someone's help, you are also in a way rejecting them to receive this feeling of being of service. So we have to realize that from the other way as well, especially for my people who are in these people-pleasing behaviors, where it's very hard to kind of go against other people's needs and desires. So when you imagine it like that someone else who's trying to help you is also receiving something from that help itself, themselves, it's easier to kind of navigate. And once you start doing that, you will notice that the world didn't fall apart, nothing wrong happened, nothing bad happened. If this person is genuine, then it's gonna feel really good for both of the parties, and you will start understanding how what you were missing out on, and you will start thinking and seeing that it is not anything bad, it is not anything wrong, it is quite the opposite. And like we are always repeating, repetition is the important thing. So repetition is going to help wire that into our nervous system. So this is the nervous system, is all throughout the body. So in our case as well, the nervous system is here, and the repetition is going to help us wire that in. Also, the repetition works for the subconscious mind. Okay, so the repetition is amazing if we want to rewire something, change something. So we're going to have to repeat it quite a bit of times in order to feel natural for us. And like I said, the repetition is going to help wire that in. And actually the inner work, I want to talk about that a bit. So the inner work here, when you find, it's a little bit of exercise, when you find yourself in a situation like that and you feel like it's perhaps a bit challenging to accept help, it's a bit challenging to do that, to go through that. So the inner work here is actually locating the younger part of yourself, like we were talking on the first slide, where is the child you, the inner child, locating that and reassuring them that yes, you needed that protection and there is nothing wrong with that. You absolutely needed it at some point in your life, in your childhood. And also that now you are an adult, you are a grown-up person who can take care of yourself and who can decide and choose accordingly if this is necessary for you or not. And most likely it is not necessary for you that this part of you is here to protect you anymore, because like I said, you are the adult self, you can take care of yourself. So you can just reassure your inner child, this part of you that was protecting you, that you do not need that protection, in fact, and that you can take care of yourself. And most likely this part of you will then ease down and understand, okay, my job here is done. I don't need to protect them from this particular reason, from this particular person, from this particular occasion, because they can take care of themselves. Okay, amazing. Then I don't need to be here. And you will ease it down. Your nervous system will be more likely to proceed and not to stop you from proceeding. So you don't need the same way of protecting yourself anymore. And the most important thing is that asking for help is not weakness, okay? So asking for help is actually a form of strength. So help is not weakness. Help is not weakness. Help is actually strength. I don't know if you can see down here, probably not, so I'm gonna write it here. Strength. Good. So asking for help is strength, okay? So strength equals asking for help. We need to wire that in our system because it's very important. We all are kind of dependent on each other. We need each other in our life, and it's okay to admit that. It's okay to do that. It's okay to be there for each other. And we don't have to be hyper independent. We don't have to do everything by ourselves. We don't have to prove to the world, to the society, to anyone that we can do everything by ourselves and to have this imaginable, invisible badge of honor that we did everything by ourselves, because literally no one cares, because we are damaging our own nervous system by doing that. And if we start realizing that we need other people, the people that we trust, of course, obviously, that are worthy of our trust, we need each other, and we can help each other navigate life, move through things differently and more effectively in a way. It takes practice to get to this stage, but little by little you will get there. Just remember, you became hyper independent because somewhere something happened to you, whether that was in your childhood, most likely, or during your life, or any event in your life, or more events that were repeating in your life. You learned that needing someone or asking for help was dangerous, was not safe, and was a form of weakness. But since you learned that, since your nervous system learned that, since your subconscious mind learned that, you can also unlearn that. You can learn the other way of the spectrum, to learn and wire into a nervous system and into your subconscious mind that needing someone is okay and is actually very helpful, and it is a beautiful way of how to connect with other people. You adopted this behavior in your childhood, but you have to understand that you are not a child anymore. That child in you is still there, but you can reassure them that the people in your life, you can assess it logically. You can make assessment if the people deserve place in your life, if they deserve your trust, and once you do that, you can let them in, you can let them help you, and you can help them as well. And there is no need for this protection, there is no need for this hyper independence, and you can navigate life in a such more easeful and better way when you start practicing that. And it does take practice, but with practice everything is possible, and I believe in you. If you've ever felt like you need help with this, or you would like to share your experience, you would like to share what you're going through, the comments are always open. Please do share. I would love to connect with you, and thank you very much for being here, and I will see you in the next video.